Recon Victor, were you calling? Yeah, you're headed right into it right now.
We're one of the fastest rising companies in the industry, with one of the most powerful and versatile helicopters in the world, and the highest caliber of team members dedicated to a single goal of maintaining our place as the premier heavy lift service provider of the millennium, forging new paths into an ever-expanding frontier of aviation. Erickson Aircrane is leading the way in vertical lift. The S-64 aircrane began from a dream by Igor Sikorsky, pioneer aviator and father of modern rotorcraft aviation. His goal was to design and build a helicopter that would perform as an airborne emergency response and heavy lift aircraft. The U.S. Army was one of the first customers, purchasing a number of S-64s for use in the jungles of Vietnam. The CH-54 was the primary means of transporting supplies, equipment, and vehicles throughout the Southeast Asian theater of operations. In a more important life-saving role, the CH-54 was fitted with a universal pod that attached to the fuselage and provided means for mobile surgical facilities, command and control, and troop transport. It was around 1971 when third-generation timber entrepreneur Jack Erickson purchased 4 S-64E Sky Cranes, and the legacy of the aircrane was to begin. Erickson Aircrane put the S-64 to work almost immediately, pulling huge amounts of wood out of steep, inaccessible areas. The advantages of the Sky Crane timber harvesting system were realized quickly. The helicopter offered incredible versatility to adapt to any harvesting prescription with a level of efficiency never attained before. It was no time before the S-64 proved itself as a profitable timber harvesting machine. Currently, Erickson Aircrane flies high-powered heli-harvesting operations in Malaysia, the Pacific Northwestern United States, and the western provinces of Canada. Today, because of the resounding success of new technology and new thinking, Erickson has mitigated the normal June to September seasonal limitations and now operates timber harvesting aircraft year-round. In the region of Southeast Asia, new forest management practices integrating scientific environmental preservation principles translate into a bigger market for S-64 heli-harvesting in the future. After purchasing the first helicopters, Erickson saw the value in developing the ancillary performance capabilities of the S-64 Sky Crane. Sikorsky Aircraft had already established the precision construction prowess of the helicopter. Erickson Aircrane realized these capabilities and has since taken them several steps further. The S-64 has proven itself to be a robust platform for support of oil and gas exploration. A history of successful support work has laid the foundation for future expansion in the northern and southern hemispheres. Today, Erickson operates S-64 helicopters globally, executing precision heavy lift operations from mountaintop wind turbines to air units placed on the tallest buildings, to thousands of miles of power lines, to 1,000-foot tall broadcast towers, and the more unique and decorative items that receive a significant amount of attention. It was 1993 when the architect of the Capitol hired Erickson Aircrane to remove and replace the Statue of Freedom, located atop the Capitol Dome in Washington, D.C. freedom's icon glided back up to her view to once again serve as the beacon of freedom and democracy to the world. Around that same time, the aerial firefighting industry was introduced to a revolutionary new system that has since changed air attack strategies around the world. Erickson Aircrane designed, developed, and built a 2,650-gallon tank attachment capable of releasing calculated flows of water, foam mix, or retardant. The helitanker was born with the ability to drop 8 coverage levels, according to the fire scenario, and to make multiple drops employing each coverage level. Refill of the firefighting tank is accomplished with the hover snorkel or sea snorkel. The hover snorkel fills in water sources as shallow as 18 inches, while the sea snorkel skims the surface of seawater and freshwater sources, refilling the tank in as fast as 20 seconds. Shortly after the development of the tank system, innovative thinking and a can-do attitude brought about the first high-pressure firefighting nozzle system to be used with a helicopter. The foam cannon has taken aerial fire suppression to a whole new area and level of effectiveness. The cannon has the ability to shoot a stream of water or foam mix up to 200 feet at a rate of 300 gallons per minute. In the time period since the system was introduced, the Erickson S-64 helitanker has performed for the United States Forest Service as well as several state and municipal agencies across the nation. Around the world, the helitanker has performed with a very public record of success in Europe and the Southern Hemisphere. Since 1999, the Erickson Aircrane helitanker has performed fire suppression duties across the mainland and islands of Italy. In Greece, the S-64 has been a part of the Hellenic Fire Brigade, fighting fires along the mainland, surrounding islands, and even in Turkey, when earthquakes turned oil refineries into blazing infernos. In Australia, a helitanker named Elvis became a national symbol of fire suppression efforts around Sydney, when a series of arson fires threatened to burn the city down. When the fires are out, the S-64 helitanker is modified to deliver slurries of hydroseed or mulch mixture to stimulate faster regrowth and prevent erosion. In recent years, the development of the S-64 capabilities has begun to reflect some of the original incident response mission scenarios envisioned by Mr. Sikorsky. Utilizing a variety of mission components, the aircrane can lift and place giant sandbags, water tankers, large generators, phone and telecom systems, containers full of equipment and supplies, and even container-sized incident command posts, medical facilities, or disaster mortuary assets. Our specialized hydraulic grapple can pick up giant trees, cars, or pieces of buildings or other large debris chunks and move them out of roadways so that response crews or inspection teams can gain access to heavily impacted areas. Erickson Aircrane is the only aerospace company in the world to manufacture, operate, and sell aircraft. The manufacturing sector supports proprietary fleet operations, as well as sales and support of S-64 aircranes to customers worldwide. In 2003, The Italian Forest Service purchased 4 S-64F model air crane helitankers after 5 seasons of leasing Erickson air crane helitankers for firefighting on the mainland and islands of Italy. The 4 air cranes were delivered with all of the parts and components that transform the air crane into a versatile external load lifter and a powerful firefighter. From 2001 to 2005, the Korea Forest Service purchased 4 S-64E helitankers to protect treasured national forest resources around its most sacred shrines. The Korean government had already leased an S-64E helitanker during a particularly dangerous fire season in 1999 and saw its remarkable effectiveness at stopping wildfires. Our maintenance, repair, and overhaul facilities are certified according to FAA and EASA standards. Many S-64 parts begin in our machining facility, where the latest software is used to translate three-dimensional models into the real thing. Erickson's machine shop employs top-of-the-line Moriseki, Haas, and Bridgeport equipment to achieve the tight tolerances required for manufacture of aircraft parts. Quality control is held to the highest standards in the industry. Erickson performs an array of non-destructive testing that conforms to ASTM or MIL standards. Advanced electronic coordinate measuring technology assures that component sizes and surfaces conform with standards that call for micron tolerances. Engine overhaul personnel have the tools and the knowledge to accomplish the complete teardown, inspection, repair, or buildup of the air crane's Pratt & Whitney JFTD turbine engines. Many of these highly skilled and versatile team members rotate from the shop floor to the field when the need arises. Erickson Air Crane operates one of only a few engine and transmission test cells in the United States. It is here that the stresses and vibrations of finished engines and transmissions are measured and recorded. If the engine passes vibration limits set by Erickson that exceed manufacturer standards, only then is it considered serviceable and placed in inventory. A comprehensive fuel control test cell replicates the same demanding conditions endured in the field. Skilled technicians can identify and address any potential performance issues before the fuel control unit is installed on the helicopter. Complete component overhaul is achieved through respective cells throughout the overhaul and repair facility. Personnel in the hydraulic shop perform diagnostic, repair, and rebuild of all S-64 hydraulic components, such as primary and auxiliary servo and main landing gear. Highly trained personnel in Erickson Air Crane's avionics and electronics shop design and install the entire electronics package into the S-64 air crane. Every electrical component on the helicopter, from AFCS to ASE hardware, is either repaired, rebuilt, or replaced within this department. Not far from the machine shops where many components begin their life, you'll find the main hangar, where all of the parts are assembled and the S-64 air crane takes shape. Hangar 2 has been the genesis for 3/4 of the Erickson fleet and the point of first appearance for the 25,000-pound capacity S-64F model air crane. Currently, the remanufacture process transforms existing Sikorsky S-64 and CH-54 airframes into new Erickson S-64 air crane helicopters under the H-6EA type certificate. The airframe is stripped down to bare metal, and every inch of sheet metal is inspected, reinforced, or replaced. A complete avionics package is installed, including communications, ICS, navigation, and flight control systems. Engines, main, and tail gearboxes are installed along with the rotor system. It's not long before the completed aircraft rolls out of the hangar, ready to fly the variety of missions that make Erickson Air Crane the leader in heavy lift helicopters. As the foundation for Erickson's growth and innovation, the engineering department has worked since 1992 to incorporate thousands of design modifications to the original Sikorsky blueprint for the S-64. Some of the brightest minds in the business have turned the air crane into a flying Swiss Army knife, capable of the widest variety of missions ever conceived within a single aircraft.
Here, start right here.
At Erickson Air Crane, our people make us strong. We're an organization full of pride in an aircraft that is making a difference worldwide. Our commercial success is allowing the air crane to emerge from the forests onto center stage. Erickson's total commitment to this aircraft system will provide the will and the way to realize Igor Sikorsky's dream of the ultimate multi-mission heavy lift helicopter.